These are the 9 most polluted rivers on Earth. Whew! Can't see anything. Number 9, Mississippi River, USA. The Mississippi River carries pollution from 31 US states, picking up millions of tons of chemical fertilizers and pesticides from massive farms, as well as industrial and sewage discharge. This toxic runoff creates a dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico where the water is so polluted that no sea life can survive. Number 8, Pasig River, Philippines. The Pasig River was declared biologically dead because its oxygen levels were too low to support any aquatic life. Every day, it is polluted by industrial waste from factories, sewage, and household waste from informal settlers that live beside the river. While there are cleanup efforts to clean the river, it remains as a major plastic highway. Number 7, Tietê River, Brazil. Every day, mountains of untreated human sewage and chemical waste from textile and metal plants is dumped straight into the water. Tietê River is highly toxic that it's filled with dangerous bacteria and is heavily contaminated with microplastics. Fortunately, parts of the river slowly recover outside the city. Number 6, Marilao River, Philippines. This river is one of the most toxic in Southeast Asia due to tanneries, unregulated mining operations, and chemicals from battery recycling along its banks. The water is so contaminated with heavy metals and has affected the local groundwater. Residents living nearby the river suffer from painful skin rashes and chronic lung issues. Number 5, Yellow River, China. This river is so toxic, it turns its water into bright, unnatural colors due to coal mining and chemical spills. It carries so much industrial poison that it creates dead zones where nothing can survive. The Chinese government has spent billions on cleanup, but the sheer number of factories along its banks makes fixing the river nearly impossible. Number 4, Buriganga River, Bangladesh. The Buriganga is the main river flowing through Dhaka, but it has become a thick, black sludge that smells of sulfur and rotting chemicals. It's extremely stinky and polluted. Every single day, hundreds of tanneries dump thousands of liters of toxic waste, including cancer-causing chemicals, directly into the river. The water is so thick with waste that it resembles motor oil more than a natural waterway. Number 3, Yamuna River, India. The Yamuna is famous for the toxic white foam that covers its surface like a winter snowstorm. This foam is a result of high phosphate levels from detergents and industrial waste. The river receives virtually no fresh water for most of the year, and it is almost entirely made up of raw sewage and industrial chemicals. Still, devotees use the river to pray while being surrounded by clouds of toxic chemical bubbles. Number 2, Ganges River, India. This river is sacred to millions, but it's also one of the most polluted rivers on Earth. Every day, it's flooded with raw sewage from 100 different cities, toxic chemicals from leather tanneries, trash, and even ashes from cremations. Its bacteria levels are thousands of times higher than what is considered safe. Despite this, devoted pilgrims still bathe in the water for spiritual purification. Number 1, Citarum River, Indonesia. Often called the most polluted river in the world, the Citarum is full of floating plastic and household trash that is so thick you can't see the water below. Thousands of clothing factories dump untreated chemicals, dyes, and heavy metals directly into the water. While its mercury levels are hundreds of times higher than legal limits, residents still use the river for bathing or washing, leading to severe health issues. Imagine millions of people living in secret cities right beneath our feet. These are 7 craziest communities that live underground. Number 7, the flood tunnels of Las Vegas, USA. These tunnels were initially built to protect the city from flash floods, but eventually became a hidden shelter for thousands of people as the cost of living became too high. Residents create makeshift homes from old beds, tarps, and cardboard. There's little to no reliable electricity, and clean water is hard to access. Number 6, the Rat Tribe of Beijing, China. During the Cold War, China built huge underground shelters that were later turned into tiny, cheap apartments. Since above-ground housing is so expensive, many young workers and students prefer to live here to save money. Most units are windowless, damp, and short on fresh air. It also comes with a shared kitchen and public bathrooms with very limited amenities. Number 5, Derinkuyu, Turkey. This ancient multi-level city was carved straight into volcanic rock and drops about 300 feet underground. At its peak, it could shelter up to 20,000 people, along with livestock and food supplies. It even has massive round stone doors that could be rolled shut to seal off tunnels for protection. Number 4, Coober Pedy, Australia. This town is so dangerously hot that residents decided to build their entire lives underground. Located in the harsh Australian outback, locals carved dugouts into old opal mines to enjoy a perfect room temperature all year round. They still get proper access to gas, electricity, and water, and have their food delivered by trucks to local stores. Number 3, the troglodytes of Matmata, Tunisia. For centuries, Berber families have survived the Sahara heat by digging large circular pits into the ground. They carved rooms into the pit walls to create a natural air conditioning system. Today, the area has become a famous tourist spot after being used as a Star Wars filming location. Number 2. Cappadocia Cave Towns, Turkey. Locals carved homes, churches, and workshops into soft rock, creating whole neighborhoods inside the cliffs. They lived this way to protect themselves from harsh weather and invaders. After centuries of use, many have been turned into boutique hotels, letting tourists experience cave living while supporting the local economy. Number 1. Barrio Troglodyte of Guadix, Spain. This is the largest cave neighborhood in Europe, where chimneys literally stick right out of the grass. Over 2,000 people live in the whitewashed caves carved into the hillsides. Unlike traditional caves, these houses have Wi-Fi, running water, tiled floors, and even fully equipped kitchens. Here are the top 5 tourist scams around the world.
You stole my purse!
Number 5. New Delhi, India. New Delhi is vibrant, yet tourists often get caught in scams from the very first step outside the airport. Fake taxi drivers are notorious here, claiming hotels are closed or fully booked, then redirecting you to overpriced alternatives where they get a commission. Travel agencies also lure tourists into paying for unnecessary permits. Always arrange trusted pickups through your hotel. Number 4. Paris, France. Paris may be the city of love, but it's also filled with aggressive street vendors who see tourists as easy targets. Around hotspots like the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre, sellers approach visitors with flashy trinkets, often refusing to take no for an answer. They use pressure tactics to corner tourists into buying cheap souvenirs at inflated prices, and some even get pushy if you try to walk away. Number 3. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio's beaches are undeniably beautiful, but they're also crowded and attract pickpockets. Pickpockets work in teams, especially during Carnival or on Copacabana Beach, and are skilled at distracting their victims, using tricks like bumping into people and asking for directions. To stay safe, leave valuables locked in your hotels and do not use your smartphone while walking. Number 2. Marrakech, Morocco. In Marrakech's famous Jemaa El Fna Square, the henna scam is a common trap. Some artists will grab your hand and start painting without permission, then demand payment, even if you never asked for it. Others add designs unexpectedly, only to charge more afterward. Number 1. Sydney, Australia. Sydney might seem safe, but scams are on the rise. Rental scams target tourists booking fake apartments online, leaving them stranded upon arrival. Some visitors also fall victim to fake hotel booking websites that take payment but never reserve a room. Always book accommodations through trusted platforms.
These are the 4 craziest abandoned towns in the USA. Would you visit any of them? Number 4. Glen Rio, Texas, New Mexico. Once a thriving Route 66 town, Glen Rio is now an empty shell after the construction of the interstate bypassed it. The empty motels, gas stations, and diners now stand in ruins, overtaken by desert winds. The town's isolation in the vast, barren landscape only amplifies the feeling of dread. It's known for the strange, ghostly sightings that haunt travelers who stop for a quick exploration. Number 3. Garnett, Montana. Garnett was once a prosperous mining town, but after the gold dried up, it was quickly abandoned. Nestled high in the Montana mountains, it's one of the best preserved ghost towns in the state, with cabins and a saloon still standing. The isolation and mountain mist make it feel like something out of a horror movie. Paranormal investigators have recorded strange voices and sightings of shadowy figures in the abandoned buildings. Number 2. Kennecott, Alaska. This copper mining town was abandoned almost overnight in 1938 after the copper supply was depleted. Its remote location deep in the Alaskan wilderness makes it difficult to reach, but the eerie, well-preserved wooden buildings make it worth the trip. The town is now frozen in time, with old mining equipment scattered around. Fun fact, Kennecott's mine was one of the richest in the world, producing over $200 million worth of copper before being abandoned. Number 1. Centralia, Pennsylvania. This coal mining town has been burning from an underground fire for over 60 years. What started as a trash burn turned into an uncontrollable blaze that led to the town's evacuation. Today, smoke still rises from the ground, and the air is thick with toxic gases, making it dangerous to visit. Only a handful of residents remain, defying the government's orders to leave.